My God, you guys look so amazing!
Hey.
Hi.
What is up? What is up? How's it going?
Oh my God. I'm so excited.
Yeah. Cheers. Oh my God, I'm running behind. I'm trying to get my life together.
To be fair, you were pre-gaming like 4 hours ago, so it's totally okay.
What's funny is that I was drinking too. I was just like, I'll just have like a little nip of wine, and then Pappa Squirrel was like, I'm also drinking. I was like, yeah. Him and I are losing tonight.
I spent my day making sure I had enough fiber in my body to be able to take the alcohol. Like I went and ate sweet potatoes and oatmeal.
Wow.
Planned appropriately.
No, we're just gonna go hard like we are young.
I'm not. 35. No, fuck that. I'll die.
Oh God, Jason, is that a unicorn? Is that what you're wearing this evening?
It sure is. Yes.
Jason brought the party.
I was gonna pull out a wig, but then I was like, I better not.
I feel like Jason stepped the game up here. I feel like I'm so underprepared. Okay, sorry. So wait, 500 questions? Is this legit? Or 500 questions?
Okay, I have to tell you guys the funniest thing. So I sourced these questions from all the corners of the internet, right? And then my husband built a program that would go out and get all of them and dump them into a document. And then I would just have to go through and take out the duplicates. So I sat down today to take out the duplicates. And halfway through, the question was never have I ever been Ben Affleck's fiance. And I was am I in a tarot group with one of Ben Affleck's fiancés? Have you? Who wrote this question?
Oh, wow. Well, I'm gonna call on your husband's services because I could use that level of tech savviness in my life. I'll say that much. So.
Okay, should we do an introduction and just get started?
Sure.
Sure.
Is comfortable? Do we have drinks? Okay,
Doing the things.
Guys, I'm Panda Bennett from Arcane Panda, and today I'm joined with my friends Jason from Tarot by the Pines, Stormie Atlantis, and of course Pappa Squirrel. And we're playing Never Have I Ever Tarot Edition. So we sourced, you guys sent in 500 questions that are all over the place. And so we're just going to go through the questions and see what happens. We're not going to keep score. We'll let you guys keep score, and we'll just see who we feel like is the winner at the end. So we'll start off with an easy one. So this is the questions are front and back on this page here.
Wow.
Oh God.
Yeah. I was I don't know if I'm going to have enough ink for this.
Wait. So we're not doing, let me just clarify for a second, because don't you, on a typical Never Have I Ever, don't you hold up 5 fingers and then you put them, are we doing that?
We had a whole call earlier where we didn't know the rules. And we were we don't know what we're doing. We're just going to drink and see what happens. I don't
until somebody dies or
okay.
The questions.
Good. Yeah. Cool.
Cool. Yep, I'm game.
When I fall out, y'all know, I'm out.
Yeah, then I'll just end the live. Yeah.
Oh, God.
So our first question is, never have I ever done a deck mod?
Oh, okay.
No.
Jason, never?
I've never done it. I want to, though. I want to. Okay, so to be fair, I'm going to edge a lot of decks, right? I don't know if that counts or not. I have one deck that I'm trying to reback and trim, and I did the first one, and then I realized that I had no set measurement, and then I was like, oh, I have fucked up. I don't know how to make them all equal. They're going to be different sizes. And hold on. I knew this would come up, so I actually grabbed it because I wanted to show you, because I hoped maybe one of you guys can help me with it. So look, I got this deck, right? and I hate the backs and they're ugly and it's really thin. So I tried to reback it black and then trim them all down. Right, this looks good, right?
Yeah.
I don't know how to make them all the same size. I started to try to redo it, and then I was like, oh, fuck, these aren't even. Like, I just have a mismatched deck. I don't know how to fix this. Like, it's a disaster.
See, that's like my worst fear. And then I'm just like, I mean, I'm so afraid that, like, especially like my indie decks, I'm like, oh, I gave that money that like I could have spent on snacks. I don't want to deck mod it and like mess it up or something. So yeah, I've never even attempted a deck mod.
Yeah, that's my biggest fear is like if I buy this deck and then I like fuck it up and then that's just down the drain. But I want to modify this Doreen Virtue deck just because it's Doreen Virtue. No hate or anything, but it's just something I'll have to do.
So that I will jump like 6 pages then, and we'll go ahead and do our next question just because I know it in my mind. Never have I ever purchased a Doreen Virtue deck.
Oh, come on.
I haven't. I don't get to drink.
I don't think I do. No.
Come on. No. I'll drink to that.
Wait.
Okay, never have I ever been gifted a deck. So I was actually gifted my first deck this year, like 15 years of tarot reading, and just this year I got like my first gift of a deck.
My very first tarot deck was given to me by my aunt when I was 12, and it's my Rider-Waite deck. So it was like my first deck. It's my one.
Oh,
Okay,
wow.
don't hate me. I started tarot when I was really young. So like I was young and I was trouble anyways back then. Like I'm spiritual now, but I was a thug back then. I stole my first tarot deck.
Yes!
I support this 100%.
Very that, yes.
Nice.
So never have I ever bought an indie deck.
You're trying to get us drunk, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure you're actively trying to get us drunk.
Easy questions, I swear.
These are easy ones. You know it. You know it.
I keep getting screwed up because I'm like, wait, am I supposed to drink? And then I'm like, oh, yeah, I got to drink.
Yeah, halfway through I forget the rules. Never have I ever bought a backup copy of a deck. Really? Oh my gosh, I haven't, but I've thought about it. Like, I get really anxious and I'm like, maybe I need to read a second one.
It's worth it. You have to get multiple copies.
I just did it for my Rider-Waite, just because I have to, like, just to have another Rider-Waite deck, just so I could, like, I wanted to draw on one of them. I wanted to write, like, symbols on them, so I wasn't going to do it on my original. Right?
What?
I think for me, it's very important, especially if, like, even if it is like a Kickstarter or an indie type deck, which I tend to put like more value on those decks. But especially when I know like I'm going to use this deck, I have this like irrational fear that I'm going to like mess up the cards. Like I'm going to bend them all, I don't know. And there's that part of me that's like, I need that one deck that's like pristine and, you know, I don't mess it up.
You have multiples of, you guys?
Offhand, like Super Lunaris and Sacred Bee are the two that come to mind.
Oh, I want the Sacred Bee so bad. I don't have it.
Sacred Bee, I just backed the Oracle deck to go with the Sacred Bee, and it's one of the ones that I've actually been like wondering, like, do I need, because I'm a riffle shuffler, so I'm like, do I need a second copy, like, because I'm gonna, you know, it's gonna take a beating. Like, I don't know.
I personally feel like when a deck, because I also rifle and bridge shuffle, right? And until my deck has that like I've been used vintage feel, I don't even like it. Like when it looks all pristine and shit, I'm like, this deck has no life in it. You know what I mean? Like I need to beat the shit out of it before I love it properly.
Yeah, this deck is like, it's so good.
Yeah, that's how mine are. I love it, honestly.
I love like a Warren tarot deck. Like I just was telling someone, they were talking about like the finish on cards, like glossy cards, matte cards, and I was like, no, I want my cards to be like super raw and look like they're like 100 years old and curved. Like
Yes. Yes. Absolutely.
It's
See, it's
authentic.
weird because I love the look of that. Like, especially I noticed when we went to New Orleans and you have a lot of the readers on the streets and they have their decks that look like they've been using that deck for 30 years. And I love the aesthetic of it. I just can't bring myself to ever do that to my decks, though.
it's because we pay so much money for them.
Yeah. I'm like, if somebody could just like wear it in for me and then give it to me, great. But I can't do it, you know.
Jason, do you riffle shuffle?
No, I overhand shuffle. I'm very careful with my cards.
Your cards on your channel are always like, they're pristine. The gilding is pristine. They're not bent. They're like always perfect. So I wondered like if you were just like really careful with them.
My
I
shit
am
is so fucked up
careful.
all the time. It's so bad.
Yeah. I just like, if I'm going to do like a YouTube video for my deck, I have to do it the minute it comes in the mail because then I'm just like, like.
Oh.
Do you know the Psychic Tarot for the Heart deck by John Holland?
Yeah.
So it's like a tarot. So he's got one. They're really thick. They're like Oracle style cards, but they're based on tarot. I love them, right? So you have this really heavy duty gold gilding on the side. Mine are almost gone. They're like just bare and dingy and
My
buffed
gilding
up.
on Sacred
I
Bee
love
is
it.
gone. Like that blue gilding, it's gone.
Oh, y'all need to take better care of your cards. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
You're not kidding. Oh my god. Okay, so number 4 is never have I ever received a reading from a professional reader.
Oh, yeah.
You guys haven't?
What?
I think I have. I'm a drink anyway.
Drink, Jason. Drink. You haven't
I like the
drank enough.
attitude. I like the
Drink.
attitude.
You've never had a professional reading?
Why not? Oh, it's so good.
I don't know.
Here's my thing about it. Like, my thing about it is when you get someone else to read your cards, like we all have like blind spots, right? Like when you try to read your own cards, you're too emotionally entwined in what it is. So your perspective is twisted. Do you know what I mean? When someone else reads your cards, they have a clear, objective viewpoint. So they can give you like an objective reading where you would have read it differently, right? Because you are like, you want it to be this way or whatever. But when someone else reads your shit, you're like, oh.
No,
Okay.
1000%. I feel like I just have it in my head that like movie scene, like, you know, back room in a voodoo shop, you know, like mystical woman. I don't know. I feel like it has to be like the right time, right place type thing.
Oh yeah.
And I haven't had that yet. So
like I would rather, if I have like an extra side money, you know how people are like, oh, I have to have so much money because I get a large Starbucks coffee for $39.99 every day on the way to work or whatever. Like I would rather get a tarot reading, like, because they're just, for me, they're so nourishing and I absolutely love it. And I don't know how this happened, but I recently just got ripped off, like, which is a good reminder because like I'm a tarot reader. Okay, I read tarot full time. All of my friends, all of you are tarot readers. Everyone I know reads tarot. And I got like an ad, like a just random ad in the middle of the night on Instagram. And I was like, sure, here's my money.
Oh my
That
gosh.
was like 2 months ago and I've never ever got the reading.
Oh my God.
no.
I'm
I'm like,
sorry.
yeah, okay. Sorry, it's my first day on the internet.
Oh God.
They're like, oh, why can't you pay your bills? Why can't you pay your mortgage this month? I'm like, well, I spent all my money to this prince in Nigeria. I gave him $10,000. He gave me $1 million back. So.
I gave him my bank account number. I thought
My social security, my address.
Never have I ever brought any decks to work with me.
No.
When I had an office, I used to take like my least scary deck and just leave it on my desk, like for when people, because I had like little water bottles and that kind of stuff. I used to do like the intake part of like counseling to like place people with a counselor. And so they'd have little water bottles and pamphlets and that kind of stuff. And I just put like a tarot deck like out. So Yeah, I used to, and then I'd always just carry one with me. But yeah, you've never taken one with you? Do you travel with them?
I travel with them, yes. However, my last like actual working for somebody else job was 2.5, almost 3 years ago now. And at that point, I really wasn't into tarot in the sense of like, oh, I've got a bunch of decks, you know? Like, I'm even trying to think if I even had a deck during the time. I'm not quite sure, but I definitely wasn't bringing it to work then.
I think it all depends on like the space that you work in at your work environment. You know, some people or some companies don't like that. So thankfully, my job didn't really care, and it was just funny seeing people's expressions when I have the deck on my desk, and they're like, "Oh, what's that?" I was like, "It's tarot cards. You want to be read to filth?" It's just hilarious.
But like when I would carry my tarot cards with me, it was like I would meet like other undercover, because like, you know, you have to wear like your 3-piece, your, you know, black business clothes, slacks, like whatever, and you meet these people, and then they'd be like, are you Wiccan? Are you a pagan? Are you a witch? I'm like, yes, I'm a witch. Are you a witch? Like, you know, because they would see like the cards and stuff. So I actually met a lot of like people like out in the normal everyday, like, yes, I'm just pretending to be a soccer mom. I'm really a witch.
You're like, this is a front.
Not real. Never have I ever done a spread for the new year. Really?
Yeah, every
I do
time.
New Year's readings, but I don't do like a specific spread.
Yeah, I'll do like an overview of the year to come kind of thing.
Okay.
I don't do it in any specific, like, I'm not a you spreads person. I'm a like throw shit out and kind of wing it reader, right? Yeah.
Me too.
So that's what I do, but I will always do it at the beginning of the year to be like, all right, what's happening this year?
This year was the first year that I actually did that, just because like I'm really big into like organizing and planning and scheduling and all that kind of shit. And and I was like, you know, I had never created like a vision board, and I was like, how can, you know, I take tarot and a vision board and planning and all that kind of stuff, and like how can I do that to plan ahead for, you know, this year. So this year was actually the first year that I did it, and I love it, honestly. Like, I can't really, well, I guess I can't really turn it around. Can you guys see that? There's my little vision board I have like right above my desk. So it's like it's a cool reminder of like, okay, this is what I pulled for the year, you know?
Okay, so that brings me to one of the other questions, like 12 pages in. So if you do New Year's spreads, so I'll do this. Never have I ever kept a tarot journal.
I'm not specific for tarot. I put tarot spreads and readings in my journal, but it also has other things in it. I don't think that
So like,
counts.
how do you do like if you do your month ahead, then like where do you track that to see like?
Just in my regular journal. Like, my journal is everything. I put my rituals in my journal. I put my thoughts in my journal. I put my spreads and my readings in my journal. I put my shadow work in my journal. My journal is just one hot spot of fuckery. Yeah.
So I'm like a repeat offender of buying office supplies, aka journals, like just to buy them. Like, they're blank, but I love to purchase them. And I'm like, this new journal is going to be the journal this year. And then I don't use it.
Yeah, I've gotten into the habit of I buy these big sketchbooks, right? Hardcover sketchbooks. And I put a label on the side for the year. And I get a new one every year, whether I fill it or not. And I just put everything into that journal. And that's because I try to get organized, and then I'm a piece of shit and I don't maintain it. So now I just throw it all in one bucket, and then I'm kind of organized by year, and that counts for me. Like, that's what I just do now.
Mine is probably like pink, because like there's something about like a new package of pens and like fresh line paper that I'm like,
I have a lot of notebooks for various, like, okay, for my my YouTube channel, right? I have a notebook that is just for my YouTube channel, like stats and like things I'm keeping track of. And then I have a brain dump journal just for my YouTube channel where I like write out my outlines, stuff like that. And then I have an actual planner, and then I have the journal I dump everything else into. So I still have a multi-system, but it's kind of still bullshit.
Wow.
If it
Mine
works,
is like
it works.
yeah. So what do you guys do? Tell me what you two do.
Go ahead, Jason.
I have a couple journals, but I have never written in them. Like I'm the type of person that I like new things, like new pens, new notebooks, but I just don't use them. So they're just accumulating on my shelf. But y'all are your goals.
I feel
so
you,
I need
Sarah.
to like get on that.
So I'm very much the same in the sense of like, I love it new. I love new pens, new journals, and I love all of them, and I'll buy them all. And I made myself start a tarot journal by making videos on tarot journals, because I'm like, if I make a video on it, then I'm gonna hold myself accountable, right? And so I got like a good way through the first tarot journal, and then literally it just disappeared. It just went out into the ether. I swear to God. And I'm not a person to lose stuff. Like, it really bothered me that like I put so much effort into this journal for it literally just to disappear. And so I'm like, okay, like if you go back to my tarot journal videos, right? Like you'll notice I've got one journal, and then starting in the next video, it's a completely different journal. And that's because I started a second one, and then I completely lost motivation because I'm like, I don't want to do that. Like I don't want to. It's just too much.
So I read somewhere, and this like deeply resonated with me. I don't know if I've ever felt so seen, but I read somewhere that said that if you were a child that couldn't put a sticker on something because you had like anxiety about like putting the sticker on like the wrong place and like using it, that like you basically grow up to be like a shitty adult, like an adult of chaos. And so like, well, hi, it's nice to meet you. I'm the shitty adult of chaos that's collected all of her stickers since she was in the 6th grade.
God, I put stickers on everything. I mean, everything I have is covered in stickers. I don't
You're
fuck
a
around.
psychopath.
I love it. Just put
Stickers
stickers on
are
everything.
cool.
So number 7 is never have I ever bought an impulse deck. Bought a deck. I'm already too drunk. I'm sorry. Never have I ever.
I feel like they're all impulse
I
buys.
feel like
Yeah.
everybody here, everybody in the chat room, everybody
Whoever
Yes.
here.
take a drink.
Drink, everyone. Yeah.
You're
Mhm.
lying to yourself.
If it's new, I want it.
Mhm. For sure.
What's the last deck that you guys whatever. Tell me the deck.
I bought the Universe Has Your Back Oracle deck like a week ago. Yep, that happened.
Okay.
Don't judge
Labyrinth
me.
deck.
I see you, Brian. I see you judging me. I will take none of that. Mm-mm.
I'm like, what?
Listen, let me just say, hold on. I'm not done. Hold on. We're going to finish this. I also saw that deck and I was like, that's the most bullshit Oracle deck I ever saw in my life, right? You just put some happy-go-lucky quotes on some cards and made it pretty. That's what I thought about it, right? Then I was doing a pick a card reading on YouTube. I was watching somebody else and she was using it and I was like, God damn, that deck was resonating as fuck. I might have to buy that. And then I got on
You're like-
Amazon and I bought it immediately. And you know what? It's actually pretty cool. So I will take no shit from you, sir.
Yeah.
Jason, what about you?
Mine was the Edgar Allan Poe, and I was in the same boat. Like I was watching either a walkthrough or like a pick a card, and I'm like, wow, that's actually pretty cool. Like I've always been fascinated with him, but like to see it in a tarot deck, I was like, oh, okay, that might be up my alley, and it's a pretty cool deck. I mean, it's a mood. I mean, you have to be in the mood for it, but yeah, that's probably my last tarot deck that I bought on an impulse. And it will probably be my last tarot deck because I have too many now.
Yeah, that's funny.
I watched your collection, like your cleanup. You cleaned everything, redid everything. Yeah, I need to do that actually.
It's
What was the
therapeutic.
last one, Brian?
The Labyrinth. I had just got done criticizing Jason for buying the Golden Girls tarot, and I was all like, I hate tarot decks that play on nostalgia, and it doesn't ever work, and blah, 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 blah. And then the Labyrinth tarot popped up, and I was like, oh, I need it.
Tarot
That's
will
what you
make
get.
the biggest hypocrite of you. Like, anytime that I'm like, fuck those kind of cards, fuck that kind of deck, then I buy like 6 of that type of deck. Like, in the next month, it never fails. Like, tarot has made me the biggest hypocrite ever. Yeah, so when people are like,
Yes.
what kind of cards do you like? And I'm like, you know, I guess I don't fucking know, apparently. All of them.
Well, wait, which one did you say you bought?
I think the last one I bought was I bought the Tongues of the Mother from Akamaro Tarot. Yeah.
You did a review of that one, didn't you?
Yeah, I just did. It's so beautiful. It's really beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
But I had to it was one of those ones, kind of like Oak, Ash, and Thorn, where I had to set my alarm 5 minutes before it went live, and then I bought it, and by the time I refreshed and went back, then it was sold out. Like that kind of gotta go hard. So number 9 is never have I ever written on my decks or colored a deck.
Okay, I just finished my beer. I have to open another one. I gotta slow the fuck down. I'm just drinking nervously. I'm just having social anxiety on live streaming and just drinking nervously, and then I have to answer the question, and now I have a whole problem.
We have 480 questions left to go, or
I'm gonna
490.
fucking
So
die.
pace
It's not.
yourself. We're both lightweights. You know that.
Listen, I know, but I also have no self-control, and when I get anxious, I just drink nervously. So this is gonna be a bad situation.
Wait, so when you say color your deck, do you mean like as in edging, or do you literally mean like when you mention writing on it, like you write things or color on it?
I think that the person that wrote this, I think there was some additional comments that I took down, but they writing the keywords or writing something like reminders on your deck, or the color decks are the ones that come blank and you color them in yourself.
Yeah.
I went through on one of my decks at one point when I was first trying to memorize the astrological associations with the major arcana, and I wrote the symbology of the planets and which sign it was on all the majors on my spare rider deck. So that was my one time doodling.
I've never written on a deck, but actually I just saw, I just watched Renee from Metal Leg Mystic writes on a lot of her decks, and there's a lot of decks that that don't follow the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith that if I had been brave enough to write on them, I would have been using them a lot more. And so I'm I don't know why I didn't just write on them. There's no shame in that. And that it's more shameful to just let it sit and not use it because the artwork's unrecognizable. But yeah. So, and then for coloring, there's 2 types of people that have anxiety, the type of people that are calmed by coloring and puzzles, and then the type of people that it makes you want to rampage and burn something down. And I'm the latter, so I don't do any coloring.
Oh God. Cheers to Aries season. Just burn it all down. Who cares about writing on the deck? Just burn the deck.
What is your my daughter burned a deck once. What is your rising sign, Brian?
That's your main sign, right?
Nope. Your sun sign is what you're calling Aries. Your rising is you don't know. Okay, just curious. Carry it on.
Carry on.
That's all.
I'll get back to you. I will find out. And
okay.
Number 11 is never have I ever rehomed a deck and then bought it back into my collection. What deck did you get rid of?
I shouldn't have drank. I just that was so awkward.
I thought you froze for a second there. I thought your screen died.
I'm I was waiting on Jason to respond, actually.
No, I don't think I've rehomed and then
I
rebought
haven't.
back.
I'm just here to get drunk.
Cheers.
Oh my God.
Cheers.
Okay.
Yeah, all right.
Okay,
We got
so
gold
none of us
over
have
here.
rehomed a deck and bought it back. So that's the first one that all of us have got. Okay, so here is a hard hitter, you guys. Whew. I'm glad that I'm hiding out in my basement away from my husband and kids, so we'll go through this one. So number 12, never have I ever spent over $100 on a deck.
Oh, what deck did you guys buy for that?
Too easy to do. What deck?
Which one was that?
Yeah, what deck?
I just tried to buy the Tarot of the Crone for like $400.
Yeah, the Pagan Otherworlds limited edition was $300 when it came out. Dust to Onyx is $150. The Baba Studios decks are basically $100 a piece. The limited edition was $150 a piece. I mean, I feel like every deck, but a lot of the decks I buy are anywhere from the 60 to 120 range.
You're way too cool for me.
The other day I bought a deck and it was $60 and then shipping was like $45. So like get into the country, and so like sometimes it just adds up. Like sometimes it's really quick. So
yeah.
The most I've spent was $32, and that was the Crystal Unicorn Tarot.
What?
That's the most I've spent.
Yeah, I think I'm probably not much over that, honestly. Yeah.
Wow.
I also have a really small collection in comparison to all of you, to be fair. Like my collection is like a baby collection compared to you guys, so I haven't done that.
Like the other day on one of my YouTube videos, somebody was like, "You always wear the same shirt," and I was like, "Yeah, because there's nothing wrong with this shirt, and tarot decks cost hella money, so I don't have time for this."
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. Now that we got that out of the way, I'm gonna have to unfriend my husband from Instagram. Never have I ever owned a pip deck.
Yeah. I don't think I have. I don't think so.
I know, Brian, you have the Nightmare Before Christmas Tarot. It's kind of pippish.
Yeah, that's kind of pippish. The Fifth Sphere Tarot is kind of pippish. I got the Visconti Tarots. That's definitely pippish. So, should I drink or do I not?
Yeah. Yes.
Drink. Okay.
The answer is always yes.
I feel like you guys need to help me through this.
You're doing just fine.
You
Keep
just
going.
drink.
You're
You just
killing
drink.
it over there.
Brian, drink. Brian, drink again.
This is really just one big ploy to get you shit-faced, and we are winning.
Yeah.
Never have I ever reshuffled because I didn't like the answers I got from my tarot deck.
Should I just chug the whole beer for all the time they did that, or?
Yeah. Yes.
Everybody drink.
I'll make up shit in my head too, like, I think I just fumbled on that. Like, that was not my fault. Like, that's not even really what it was. Let me just do that again. It's fine.
Okay, so then never have I ever put a deck in a bag. Okay, so how do you guys keep your decks?
I have one in a bag.
Yeah, I just have one, but I mostly keep them in their boxes.
Mostly in the boxes. I prefer that. But I have a few decks where you get those shitty tuck boxes that just immediately tear as soon as you're trying to get it open. And at that point, I'm just like, the box is trash, whatever. And I go ahead and put it in a bag. So
I just don't have room. I have like over 500 decks, so I don't have room for the boxes. So I just don't. But I keep them. I do like tote them up and I keep them in the attic, like above my garage. But I don't keep my bags in the boxes or the decks in the bags or boxes, I guess. Yeah. Okay, so somebody said chat is being ignored. I'm sorry. This is like literally my second live. Can you guys also see the chat?
I can. I also saw my daughter and her friends just trolling the shit out of us, so I intentionally started ignoring it a while ago.
Okay.
What of the chat is literally one line. So I see aquamarines.
Yep, I can only see one line at a time. Yeah.
So if the chat's being ignored, it's because I can't see it.
Okay, sorry. So somebody asked what a pip deck is. is Pip Deck and Nicki Minaj themed deck. So a Pip Deck is there's no like people, it's just like the scenery or just the suits. Yeah, Brian will show you, he has a deck. So like I'll show you the difference. So like that is just the cups, like there's no people, and then like this.
Look at you guys, just ready to go for demonstrations.
On the ball.
You should drink for that. I think that deserves a drink, honestly.
Well,
Yeah, drink.
Thank you.
Drink, Jason, drink.
Yeah,
He
I
should
was
drink.
ready.
He's just got a unicorn suit on. He should drink all the time, anyways.
Yes.
Yeah, I was ready, but y'all beat me to it.
Sister said she's just drinking with every question. Yeah, you guys got to just be honest. I know that we're not the only ones.
Just drink, everyone.
We're just gonna get a whole
where
group
do
of
you
people
keep
shit
them?
faced.
Where do you keep them? Oh, if they're not in the bags or boxes. So I keep my decks. This is really weird, but I have like great big 6-drawer dressers, and then I have dividers, and my deck
Jesus.
upright, and I have 3 dressers, and they have 6 drawers each, and then dividers, like just from Amazon. Yeah,
It looks beautiful, by the way. I just saw a TikTok where you were showing them off, and I love how it's all organized. It looks so like museum quality, how you're pulling out the drawers and stuff.
Oh,
Guys, I
wow.
have like 40 decks in total. Like, I really have the babiest collection in comparison. Like, people who don't read tarot come to my house and they're like, wow, that's a lot of decks. And then I get here with you guys and I'm like, I don't want to talk about it. It's embarrassing.
Well, and people always say that. First of all, I always remind people that you only need 1 deck to read tarot. Just 1. You don't need more than 1. And then I've been reading tarot for like 15 years now. That I know that makes me old. I am old. And people don't really realize that. I think because I'm fat, like I look younger, like in the face. But like
Okay.
black doesn't
We're
crack.
the same age, so don't say you're old because I'm not old. KK.
I'm older, and so
I'm probably older than both of you.
And then
Maybe.
is different when you do it like as a business, because I bring in certain decks for myself, and then I bring certain decks in for my business that can be written off like under my company. So yeah, so you guys don't sweat over how many decks you do have or don't have. So I have 10 decks. Yeah. Someone has 147. Wow. Yeah.
Jesus. Oh, hey, Moondust.
Okay, so wait, you guys are, I was like, why isn't anyone asking a question? Just kidding, because I'm supposed to.
Wait on you.
Never have I ever bought a mass market deck.
I mostly have those, honestly.
They're so accessible.
They are.
Listen, here's the thing, too. I will defend them because a lot of times the decks that are like mass market really popular are popular for good reason. Like a lot of those are really good fucking decks. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, and if they didn't come to mass market, they wouldn't, like other people, there's certain people that they wouldn't reach, that wouldn't have access to them, and they come at a more affordable price. And yeah, like no hate to mass market decks. I love them. Like, trust me, because then I'm like, oh, look, I can get this deck for $20 and I can go to Taco Bell. Like, not just one or the other.
I think the Light Sears Tarot is my favorite besides the Rider Waite, and that's a mass market deck. It's so good. It's so good.
You guys, I just got the Light Sears like last month. I've held off on it, and I've
So
held off on
good.
it, and I was like, I'm not gonna like it. Like, I didn't want to like it, and oh my gosh, the card
So
stock is
fucking good.
The colors
It's
are
the
good.
best
The
card stock.
diversity is good. Like, the Light Sears hits. Like, it hits hard. It's good. Like,
I edged mine.
wait.
Hold on. I have mine right here. Me also, by the way. I edged mine black, and it just looks so much more witchy and amazing, by the way.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
I'll just mail you mine so you can deck mod it and send it back, since I don't do deck mods.
All right. No problem.
What's the last mass market deck that you guys purchased? Do you know?
I mean, there's that one I just told you about. It's not a tarot, it's Oracle, but it's the Universe Has Your Back Oracle deck, which is cool.
Probably Tarot de Toro is the last one, at least I've purchased and received. Let me put it that way.
Right. Yeah, I've purchased some too that are like pending. Yeah, the Del Toro, I got that as well because I love all of Guillermo del Toro's movies. And I got the deck, and goddamn, the Hangman card like is too much for me. And I don't know. Someone said, again, I don't do deck mods, but somebody was like, just color it in because it's like the baby in the jar, like for the hangman. It's like the dead baby. And I'm just like, I think it's because I just gave birth. Like I just had a baby that like it's really bothers me. But yeah, but I did. That was the last deck that I got too. And I really like it because all the cards are actual, their original were wood carvings because the person that taught him tarot is blind. So he did them as wood carvings so that his tarot teacher could feel what he created and see his
Oh,
design.
that's cool.
Have you guys all held or used or purchased the Modern Witch Tarot?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What do you guys think of the cardstock? Just a vote.
I'm not a cardstock snob. I'm not. I'm
You're
not
not?
a cardstock snob.
Jason?
I mean, I've had worse. That's for sure.
I have had worse. That's for sure.
It'll do its job.
I talked the most shit about it on YouTube. And I just wanted to get a vote of who was with me on the team. I just wanted to see if anyone was with me on that.
Ah. Yeah, it's okay.
The cardstock is fucking trash. It's trash.
She's like, it's okay. She's like, it's trash.
Absolutely.
It's okay.
I see you,
trash.
Brian. Thank you for being on the team.
No. I mean, to me, I compare like everything to me is like a restaurant, right? And if you're ever going to be like, how is that restaurant? And you're like, it's okay. It's trash, period. Just plain and simple. Like, you're not going to be like, I don't know. Not good. Not my cup of beer.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so number 17. Never have I ever bought a deck based on a TV show. So I bought the original super large Visconti because it was in Charmed. It was the deck they always used in Charmed.
Wow. Fancy.
Yeah.
So I guess my only one is the Golden Girls, which that has the shittiest cardstock. If you ever have that deck, that's the shittiest cardstock. Not
okay.
Modern Witch. Let's just get that straight.
Wow. He got a little aggressive. Get him some more booze, this guy.
I just bought
Angry unicorn over there.
by Colette Baron Reed, the something, I don't even know what it's called now. The one that Colette Baron Reed just put out, and the cardstock on that is the worst, shittiest. It's like paper. It's got sharp edges. Like, it's nothing like any of the other decks that I've gotten from them before, but like, it is trash. Like, straight garbage. It's
This
not
has just
good.
evolved into us talking shit about tarot decks now, so.
I'm dead.
So it's like sad sharp paper. Like, it's just not good. Not good at all. So never, number 18, never have I ever bought a used deck. So I got really into that because like you're at home, you're online. I got really into that during the lockdown, like on the tarot marketplace. And, like,
I think I saw you had made a video about that, didn't you?
Yeah, like buying used decks. And
Saw that.
like one girl, she sent me, like she did like a custom doodle all around the box. She drew like a panda. Like when she sent like the deck, and like another person sent the deck and they put like a crystal in with it. And I was like, well, like buying decks, I haven't had a bad experience yet. Like actually buying used decks is worth that.
Wow.
Let's see here. Cereal box cardstock. Yes, it was. That worked with that. You guys, I will show you. I'll do a video. I just watched Wicked Moon. She like did a video and she's like, oh, this cardstock. And she like kept going. I was like, no, go ahead and say it, girl. You need to know.
Oh, I love her.
Number 19. Never have I ever bought a counterfeit deck.
Yeah, drink, Brian, drink.
It was for educational purposes, okay?
Mine was because fuck you, Doreen Virtue. You're not gonna take royalties off my money.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
We're all getting aggressive now. Everyone's just a group of aggressive people here.
That's
It's the alcohol.
the one and only time that I'll ever buy a counterfeit deck, because I do really support artists, and I don't think that's right. And I always report things when I find them on Etsy or eBay that are fakes. But yeah, like you guys know, and for anyone here that doesn't know, Doreen Virtue made all those different decks. Then she came out and she went to Christianity, which is fine. but she dragged our community, demonized our community, said that tarot community was the devil, like to leave here, that it was bullshit. Everything that she said and created while she was here was bullshit, but she still collects royalties off of her decks if you buy them today. So she's not getting any of my money. So I did buy the Romance Angels counterfeit deck for $11. So
All right.
I'm sorry.
I've been educated today. All right.
I'm just triggered because everybody in today's society seems to always want to look for issues. And I specifically made my video to raise educational purposes around not only the difference between counterfeit decks and the real decks, but to educate about how that takes money out of the creators, unless you intentionally want to take the money away from the creators, and also how this like just feeds into capital greed and waste and unregulated jobs and blah, blah, blah. And of course I had everybody, well, not everybody, but people in the comments that are like, well, you supported them by buying it and all this kind of shit. And I'm like, I get it. Like, you're not saying anything false, but at the same time too, I don't know, whatever.
Yeah.
Next question.
Take a drink, Brian. Take a drink, Brian. It's
Yeah.
Have I ever done a deck interview, sorry. So when you get your deck, do you do an interview spread?
I have not. I don't.
No, I don't either.
Wow.
Look at us. Wow. We are some group here.
So number 21, never have I ever read tarot naked.
Probably. I don't know.
Just drink.
Probably.
Yeah, just
I don't know. I do it a lot.
Anyway.
It's inevitable, honestly.
Number 22, never have I ever read cards for a celebrity or pop culture person.
I'm not that cool.
You guys,
Cool.
I'm going to tell you this, okay?
Did you?
No, I wish, but I did get drunk and email Bailey Sarian at 3 a.m. in the morning and ask if I could read cards for her.
I assume there was no response.
Yeah, no. Her management team was like, no thanks.
Nice.
Yeah, so if you guys see Bailey Sarian, you just let her know that the offer is still open. I would like to read cards for her at any time. Number 23, never have I ever loved the art on every card in a deck.
Wait, one more time. What? Huh?
Fight tears all day.
Never have I ever loved the art on every single card in a deck. So is there always like one card that you're not like a super fan of, or do you always like every single card in your deck?
Is it pertaining to a specific deck or just the card in general?
Just take a drink. Fuck it.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'll just drink.
just
If you're unsure, just drink. That's the rule I'm going
There we
with.
go.
Never have I ever bought a deck from another country.
I don't think so.
So I'm a repeat offender. I did a video on this. I'm a repeat offender of buying decks in languages that I don't speak. Like, I have decks in French and in German, and then I have to go through and like translate the guidebooks and that kind of thing. But that does not slow me down. Like, I'm always buying decks in other languages from other countries all the time.
You know what? Somebody just recently told me. So I told you I talked a bunch of shit about the Modern Witch Tarot on my YouTube channel, right? So somebody got on there and told me that if I buy the German version of it, they use a different card stock and that it's actually really nice. So I'm going to buy the German Modern Witch, I think, maybe.
Yeah, and sometimes I buy the other editions because, like, when they come to the US, they change the art or the card backs or the card stock. And so, like, if I like what it is, I'll pick up the one from the other country before it comes out in the US.
That reminds me, what was that shitty deck? I mean, it's a great deck, but I had this shitty experience with it. What with the woman from Australia? Crappy black box.
Oh, yes, you did the video. She sent you the aggressive email?
Yeah. What? It starts with an L. What was that? I know that's where I was at. Luminous? No.
Loom. That's not right. I can't remember.
Anyway, it's like you could either support her and pay more money and get a less quality deck, or you could buy the French mass market version for cheaper.
Somebody said Lumina Tarot.
Lumina Tarot.
Lumina,
Yeah. Yeah, like
Lumina
just buy
said
the
too,
French mass market version for cheaper and better quality. There you go.
Yeah. That's sad when that happens. And Queen Asset Haru said that she has lots of decks from other countries. Yeah, like me. Yeah, me too. And you find some really cool stuff over there. And actually, like in Germany, like it's much more like cards are more like normal and mainstream. So like they just have a lot of things that we don't have because it's not. They don't have like the Christianity like demonizing tarot like we do. So there's some pretty cool things. So my other question then, let's see here. Okay, so that makes, I want to ask this other question then because of what you just said right there. Never have I ever regretted backing a Kickstarter.
I've never kickstarted anything.
Same.
Sorry.
Same.
Really?
I'm also, yeah, I know it's bad,
No.
but I'm same.
I'll take 2 drinks for that question.
So this one isn't a tarot deck, but I backed an Oracle deck just the other day. Like I saw it in a group and I got like FOMO and everyone else was like, I'm backing it. And so like my account's all set up. It's almost just as bad as Amazon. So I just clicked through, backed it. And then I got to looking at like the pictures and the video that was up. And my biggest pet peeve when an Oracle deck is like a picture of a tree and the keyword's like tree. And that's the kind of deck that it is. I was like, put grounded, put roots, put transformation, growth, like anything else. But I hate when it's like a picture of a bird and it's like bird. And it's one of those decks and I clicked too fast and I backed it. I definitely regret backing that deck.
Tisk tisk.
Okay, so let's see here. Oh, here's number 37. Never have I ever bought any of Doreen Virtue's decks.
Didn't we already do this one?
We
Did
that
we?
one. But I'll drink again.
Maybe-
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jason drank on that one.
Sorry.
That was a setup.
Okay, so never have I ever bought a deck while watching a walkthrough of it.
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I think I have.
Yep. As soon as I get like halfway through the video or maybe like just like a minute left, I'm like, gotta get it.
Yeah, I watch a lot of walkthroughs. Like I have terrible insomnia. So like at 3 a.m. I'm like, walkthrough, bye, walkthrough, bye, walkthrough, bye. Yeah.
Don't let your husband watch this video. You're gonna be in so much trouble.
I know. Never have I ever bought or owned a traditional Rider-Waite Smith. I think we're all Rider-Waite Smith readers here, aren't we? Okay, so never have I ever bought multiple decks from the same creator. Yeah, no, yeah.
Rebecca Campbell.
I just bought the Trinity Tarot by Matt Weisner and the deck that the Transient Light that he's coming out with. Both
Oh,
of them-
and John Holland. Sorry.
Sacred Bee decks. I have all of James Van Pra's like Oracle decks.
Threads of Fate, Prisma Visions,
Yep.
Ethereal Visions. Trying to think of who else has come out with multiple decks. I'm like,
I think I have a couple, so I'm just drink.
Never have I ever read reversals. So I do read reversals, and
Yeah.
a lot of people don't.
No, both of you know.
Too much information. I like the good side of tarot.
Okay.
so like I think it's, so you mentioned earlier about how like you don't really do spreads, how you don't like that structure, you just kind of like throw it out. So I've not only found that works best for me, as that kind of having a conversation with the cards is kind of how it feels versus like something that's structured. But for me, I don't know. It's like, I just look at the card as it comes and what's next to it and what's around it. And to me, the card has all of those meanings, you know, whether it is a reversal or not. And what is it that makes sense in that sentence, you know?
So you decide whether or not you read the reversal based on how it feels and what's next to it. Is that what you're saying, essentially?
Kind of, yeah.
Okay.
Kind of is intuitive, but not necessarily like a physical reversal.
Yeah. I would say, I mean, I always read reversals. Okay, two things. One is I decide, generally speaking, based on a deck. If the author does not include reversal information in their book, then I assume that the intention for reversals is not built into the deck itself, and therefore I don't read it in that particular deck most of the time. Generally speaking, I read reversals, and then I just decide, the only thing that differs really is that I will either read the traditional reversal meaning, or I'll read it as just a blocked energy of the upright, depending upon how it feels.
Okay.
Ooh, interesting.
So then that brings us to never have I ever read with jumpers. Do you guys take jumpers or no?
I exclusively. Yeah. I'm out of beer, but I should drink so much for this question. Okay, hold on. I'll be right back. I'll BRB. I'm gonna go to my fridge and get more beer.
Okay. Done.
You two jumpers?
Yeah, I do, but I don't read just like exclusively with them. Like some people shuffle and like they shuffle super aggressively until they get like a card that flies out. I don't do that. If I do get a jumper, like I'll definitely keep it, but I don't read just like I usually cut and like lay out my cards. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I love jumpers. That's probably my biggest way of getting the cards out is the jumpers. Oh, did you get your beer?
I got 2 more beers just to be safe.
Nice.
Jumpers. I read with jumpers like exclusively. Like when I shuffle my cards, I just take what falls out as my reading cards.
Mm-hmm.
Never have I ever read a deck guidebook from beginning to end.
I don't think so.
Really?
I don't think so. Probably not, no.
Oh my gosh. Do you guys read it at all?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to with the Edgar Allan Poe tarot because, you know, there's so much meaning in that deck with the stories and all that. That's the only guidebook that I read from front to back, which that takes a lot. I don't like reading.
Can I just say, somebody just commented that Jason and Brian are in their Oracle versus Tarot skid vibes right now, and I 100% agree.
Right? It's going to be a fight. Never have I ever read for a family member. Do you guys read for your family?
I read for my daughter once.
I was once traveling with my mom, and she super hates tarot and everything witchy, and I pulled a card for her, and I got the 10 of Swords, and she's like, "Was that mean I'm gonna die?" And I was like, "No, it just basically means like everything's on fire around you, and you're just like, this is fine." And she's like, "Well, that's not the fucking truth."
I'm sorry. The modern witch card comes to mind. Everything's fine.
This is fine. It's fine.
Yeah, I've read from my mom once, and then that's something I shouldn't have done because I learned more than what I should have known. So, yeah, I stopped that real quick.
I'm going to smoke with Brian.
Okay, so then never have I ever spilled anything on a deck.
Oh, what's the tea? What's the tea?
Oh my gosh, I've spilled on a deck, and it just gives you a panic attack. My husband, because I'm like an anxious shuffler, so I carry a deck around the house all the time, no matter where I'm at. He's spilled on one of my decks, like on accident, tipped a cup over. And then one time, before I got to the drawers, I used to keep my decks on shelves. And right after we had our baby, so mind you, we have 3 kids, 2 under 2. And right when we came home from the hospital, like those next like 3 days, you can't even see straight. You can't remember. You don't know your name. You don't know up from down. Okay, so the rack that I used to keep all of my decks before they overflowed and I moved to the drawers, My husband went and he took meat out of the freezer for dinner and he set it on the rack. And then, like, the next day, I was just like, what is that rancid smell? So the meat had thawed and the blood had dripped down into, like, on a deck of cards. It was...
Ew.
And I was like, we are doing something different. Like, and that's how we got to the drawers, so they could be safe. But, like, yeah, I thought I was getting a divorce last year. It was just, no, I'm kidding. I'm just kidding. No, but it sucked. So, like, I've definitely spilled on a deck.
Ooh, that's gross. That's so disgusting.
Yeah.
Do you still have the deck?
No, it was...
Good God, I hope not.
Okay.
It was totally done, yeah. Never have I ever wrapped a deck in silk. I've not.
Silk specifically? No.
The limited edition Pagan Otherworlds deck I got came in silk, so I didn't voluntarily do it. It just came that way. So
When I got my first deck was given to me by my aunt when I was 12, right? She told me that I was supposed to wrap the deck in black fabric, but I didn't have anything fancy, so my cousin had a black Batman shirt, and I just cut off the back part of it, and for, like, seriously 20 years, that deck was wrapped in the remnants of a black Batman shirt in a box for, like, a long time.
Never have I ever... Whoops, sorry, go ahead.
I was just saying that's kind of cool, actually. Like,
I don't actually know what happened to the fabric. I have it in a box now with no fabric, and I genuinely don't know. Like, one day I don't know. It just wasn't there anymore. I don't know what to tell you.
Never have I ever let anyone else touch my decks. So I'm not like that. Like, I'm just like, you know, some people are like, I don't let anyone touch my space or my decks. Like, I don't mind.
I have my original, my first gifted one. That's off limits. Other than that, it's cool.
Do you guys let people touch your decks or?
Tragically, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mean, they're so interested. They're just like, ooh, I'm gonna touch that. Well, they touch it without asking. I'm like, okay, never mind. Go ahead, touch it.
Food.
But I love them, so it's okay.
Yeah. Never have I ever lost a single card from a deck. No, neither. Never have I ever bought my tarot deck its own accessories like crystals and such. So if under accessories, like, because I photograph my cards, I'll buy specific things for my tarot deck. And then I also I really am obsessed with pairs. So, like, if I buy a tarot deck, then I want to buy its Oracle deck pair, like something to pair with it.
Mm-hmm.
So I do buy things for my tarot deck, yes.
Some of my decks have, a couple of them have boxes that are not the original boxes. Like, my favorite decks have special boxes that I purchased for them. So there's that.
Never have I ever bought a nude or erotic deck.
Drink.
Jason, you're not drinking?
I don't think I have
nude,
one.
I have nude decks.
Huh?
I don't think I have one. Like, specifically all nude or just like one card or two?
I don't know.
I'll just
Like
drink.
one of
I'll
those,
just
like,
drink.
just drink. Just fuck it.
If I have to ask, I'll drink.
Can we ask our viewers, like, roughly how much drinking are they doing currently and account with these questions? I'm just curious
Somebody
to know.
I
wonder if everyone's getting drunk with us or not. Is what I want to know.
Somebody just said that they were having to have their husband refill their drink because they're drinking so much.
All right.
Wow.
I'm glad it's a group activity. That's all I wanted to know, really.
Yes.
So Queen Asset Haru said that she read the Hoodoo Tarot book and that it's phenomenal. That is true. Somebody said no smoking.
Sorry.
Somebody spilled coffee on the Greenwich Tarot and melted the King of Cups card from the Golden Thread Tarot when I hold it too close to a candle.
Oh no.
Gotta be careful. Someone's drinking too because they're buying bags specifically for their decks. Oh my gosh. Yes. Okay. So never have I ever forgotten about that I had a deck. Yes, I've done that. I almost just repurchased a deck, and then I was like, wait a minute. Because I was like, I really like this, but then I was like, wait, I think I have that deck. Yeah.
Drink.
You were like leafing through your drawers, weren't you?
I was like, I know it's here. Yeah. Never have I ever done a paid reading for someone.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
I have. Yeah.
Wait, you've never, Brian?
No.
You never been paid to read?
Wow.
Wow, okay.
That's a shocker. I say you still drink.
Yeah. Just drink anyways. Just bullying you. Drink. Drink or you can't sit with us. Let's see here. Never have I contacted the publisher or creator of a deck. I have.
Y'all are some sassy
Are
bitches.
you kidding me? No, there's so many reasons, like especially for like out of print decks. But I mean, that's just me, you know. I don't care. I don't have any shame. Like, what's going on? I mean, probably all you guys saw yesterday my rant about purchasing Benabel Wins deck. Like,
I did.
I'm like, you know what? If you're not going to answer your DMs, I'm going to get on here and I'm going to broadcast this shit. And when 30 minutes later, Benabel contacts me via Instagram. So
Aww.
I'm like, I don't care if I need to talk to the creator. Like, I need to talk to you. Like,
The last deck I wanted was out of print, or like it just sold out. It wasn't out of print, but it sold out, and I wasn't sure if they were going to do another run. And so I contacted this was for an Oracle deck. So I contacted her, I think it was for Desert Divination. And she was like, I have one deck left that was damaged. The box was really damaged. So it's just the cards, but I could wrap them up and send them to you. And I was like, yes. I don't keep the boxes anyways, so send it my way. So yeah, I have reached out to the creators. Also, like, just like as support. And like, sometimes I'm like, so what were you like thinking when you created this card? Like, just tell me all about your process or your thought process or the meaning, like that kind of stuff. So yeah.
I think the closest I've gotten to contacting a creator is Izzy Ivy recently posted some artwork for the deck she's coming out with. And I wrote in the comments, "Take my fucking money. Where do I pre-order?" And she was like, "We're not there yet." And I was like, "Fuck, okay." That's it. That's as close I've gotten.
That's hilarious. Somebody said that I need to make a spreadsheet in Google Drive and list your decks in there so you can find them. Yes, I need to. I started that. I'm not a big computer person, spreadsheet person. My husband actually started it, and I need to finish it. Like, I need to make time. We had another baby this year, and so we just haven't done it, but it needs to be done. I have so many decks now that like it does need to happen. I need a spreadsheet or something. I keep a running list. Do you guys do this? Like, I keep a list on my phone of like, it's separated into different things. It's like on their way, back to Kickstarters,
Jesus.
purchased, and like wish list, and then wish list out of print. And I just keep that on my phone and update that. That's like, so that I know, because right now I probably have like 46 decks in the mail, like with the Kickstarter ones that will come in, and it might not be for another couple years that all of them are in, but that's like how I track them with that phone list.
Wow. One day I want to be you when I grow up, Panda.
Your goals.
Yeah, you are goals.
I'm the same way. I'm way too A-type personality. I'm like, I've got to know everything and have it organized. So I get that. Totally.
So the next one, never have I ever bought a deck and found that it had one or more damaged cards in it. So this just happened to me with all my decks. It's just recently happened.
Mm-mm.
What deck?
With what deck?
So my my all-time favorite deck, Everyday Witch Tarot, came damaged, and I was so upset about it because I mean it's my favorite deck. So I had to send it back multiple times because I kept getting a damaged deck, and I'm like, come on. But I'm glad I got a pristine deck. But it came with extra cards, so go me.
That's cool. Yeah, mine, this was one that came from Amazon, and it came, and like the entire front part of the card was ripped. Like there was no way that like I could even salvage it or anything. And I hate to send stuff back because like the post office is like one of my main arch nemesis. So like I do not want to send stuff back. I don't want to deal with it. But I had to send that back and get a different one. So, but that in all my decks and all my years, like that just happened to me. So,
Wow.
never have I ever asked the same question, but in a different way to get a different answer.
I should just chug all of my beer.
Everybody drink.
Why are you asking me the same question over and over again?
Yeah, all the time, honestly.
Never have I ever done a culling for my collection. I actually watched Brian's video, like where he like thinned out his collection, got rid of some things.
Oh, yeah.
Just after I did my tarot collection video, and then my daughter, her best friend, who's like 14, she's reading tarot cards now. So she was over at the house, and I just went ahead. I just finished the video, so I just gave her all the things I didn't want, including Modern Witch, actually. I was like, fucking take this trash. I don't want this.
I love that deck. That's so weird.
It's a beautiful deck. If they reprinted it, I would buy it in a fucking heartbeat. I would. But that stock could eat dicks. I'm not fucking with it. No. Sorry, I was aggressive. I'll shut up now.
Never have I ever taken a tarot class.
Oh,
all right.
I'm in a tarot class right now. So like people are so weirded out by this. I'm literally always in a tarot class. And when I meet someone new and I like the way that they read cards, I'll sign up and take their class. And then also you can be like a beta tester for tarot courses before they go online. So I will beta test like people's courses before they go like take them live and like have people pay for them and stuff. So like I'm always taking tarot classes. People that I meet or make friends with that like have courses, I take their courses too, because I always learn something new, even after years and years, 15 plus years reading cards. And then I beta test tarot courses too, because like, I mean, I don't have any friends, so I just, No,
hey, we're best friends now. What are you talking about?
Yeah, all of us are best friends, so.
Are we losing Jason? Oh, there we go.
B says, I want to take Truth and Stories class.
There we go.
Yeah. I want to take Tom Benjamin's class too. Okay, so never have I ever taken pictures of my decks, cards, or spreads. So everybody just
Instagram all the time. Just yeah.
Which Jason and Brian and well, all you guys, Stormie too, because you're like a literal photographer. All you guys' pictures are so good.
Thank you.
I mean, to be fair, here's the thing. I also take pictures in my phone of my personal readings to like look back on later. But then I never do that. I just have a fucking weird series of photos I have no reference to. Like, I don't even know what I drew them for anymore. Just photos of spreads that I thought I would look on later that I didn't.
Oh, man. Here's one for all of us. Anyways, Tom Benjamin is awesome. Yes, he is. Oh, my gosh. I just got done telling him that he and I should be best friends. I can just hear his posts. Like, I can hear his voice. Like, never have I ever broken my promise to not buy a deck this month. Well, this asshole created the tag No Deck November, and then all of us failed at it. So yes, we will drink.
No. I have never agreed to myself or anybody else that I would not purchase anything. I don't ever restrict myself and my purchasing. Like if I want coffee, if I want tarot decks, like I will go and get it. No.
My first and only tag, I did hashtag like my VR tag. I did No Deck November, and I probably got 16 decks that month just because I said No Deck November. I was like, I came up with the stupidest tag. Why did I do this?
As a Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Mercury, I have zero fiscal self-control. So there's that.
Never have I ever repurposed a deck. Yeah.
I don't even know what that means.
So like, do you use the cards for anything else? So sometimes I buy like Like
Oh,
from
hold
Michaels.
on.
Like I'll buy the cheap decks and I'll use them like in journals or like as stickers or to send like gifts or put in letters or
I have a deck of Crystal
book
Grid
cards.
Oracle cards that this is going to be real woo-woo hippie shit, but so what I do is as I use it to charge intentions into my drinking water, I adhere my Crystal Grid Oracle cards to the sides of the glass container that my water is in to imbue those intentions into my drinking water. So, yep.
Never have I ever named a deck like a pet. Just you and Bob hanging out. Oh my gosh, you guys, I should, because how funny would that be to be like at the beach with Barbara?
That would be hilarious, actually.
Oh my gosh, I immediately have 500 new friends. Just giving them pet names. Never have I ever used a spread. So I have used a spread, but I'm not a spread person. I'd rather just throw all the cards out on the table.
I mean, I've done it, sure, but yeah. I will say the old school, like Celtic Cross, is still occasionally we'll still use that.
Yeah. Never have I ever had a deck make me cry.
Oh, what's the tea?
Tell us.
I'm just a bitch sometimes, and I don't like my ass being handed to me. I got no tea for you. I don't know what to tell you. Sometimes I'm just sad. I don't...
Ain't nothing wrong with
Shit
that.
happens. I don't know.
Sometimes I'm just clinically depressed. There's nothing wrong.
Sometimes it's a hard day, man. Don't fucking judge, okay?
I have drank enough today that we watched the documentary, The Last Blockbuster. I don't know if you guys have heard
I've
of it.
seen that.
Mm-hmm.
I was literally bawling by the end of this documentary. So I get it. Some days you're just a little emotional. It's okay.
Oh,
Good.
so Queen Osset Haru said many decks make me cry. And you know what? Now that she says that, yeah, the Black Lives Matter by Tina Queen of Wands, the Black Lives Matter tarot that she created, that deck makes me cry when I use that. Like I have to sit down and be emotionally prepared. So yeah.
Also, aren't you a Cancer sun?
Yeah, I'm.
So you just cry all the time, right? Am I not?
Yeah.
Am I not
cry
right?
Because I like
Okay.
it.
I mean, listen, I got a lot of Scorpio in my chart, so I get it. But like, don't lie.
Okay, I just forgot for a second. Okay, I'm not crying right now, so I forgot. Check in with me at the end of this bottle of wine. Okay, I'll just cry for you guys. Never have I done a reading using a deck that wasn't mine. I never have.
I don't know anybody else who reads cards. I don't have any friends. Nope.
Never have I done a reading that didn't make sense at the time, but was very accurate later.
Dude, the other day,
I'm
hold on.
sure. Yeah.
The other day, like literally last week, I tweeted about this. I got up and I decided to do a spread for the day. And I was like, hey, cards, what's up? What's happening today? And it was dark and ominous. And I was like, don't know what that's about. Gonna carry on my fucking life. And then later that day, I got an email and I was like, I'm gonna go cry for the rest of the night. Fuck you, tarot cards. You nailed it. And I just didn't see that coming. And I was very upset about it. So, yep. Yep.
Never have I ever done a reading on a pet. I have not.
Mm-hmm.
I know that that's a big thing in the community, but I've never had it done. I've never done it. Nobody else?
Did you say on a pet?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no. Like, what?
Yeah, that's like a big thing. You've never had anyone ask you that? I mean, I haven't had anyone ask me either, but I see that a lot.
Like, what is the fortune you're telling there? Tomorrow you will shit and also eat.
Never have I ever waited for more than a year for a deck to be delivered.
Yeah. Drink.
And we can follow that up with never have I ever purchased a rare out of print deck.
Huh. I guess we're just not cool then.
We're not. Team lightweight's not cool enough.
Never have I ever. This is one of the ones that I was just talking about. Never have I ever purchased a cat deck. So literally just the other day I was like, fuck cat decks, like those are lame. And then I was scrolling through the internet and I found this deck and I was like, what? It's full of dead things. Like, look at these cats. And so
That's cool though.
Yeah, so
That's cool.
This is the Phantasmeow. Phantasmeow, the Cat and Candy Phantasmeow tarot. And, like I said, tarot just routinely makes me a liar and a hypocrite.
The funny thing is, of any of us, I could see Jason owning 3 cat decks for some reason.
Same.
No one else has any cat decks, just me? Oh.
Yeah, just you.
Lame.
I'm surprised you don't have one, Brian, since you have 2 cats.
Yeah.
You're like, what now? No. You know I don't like that light and fluffy.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I'm gonna just drink.
Never have I ever gone to a tarot conference. I have not, but I freaking want to.
They're expensive. I
Yeah.
was looking into it last year because, and let me know if there's any more, but at least from what I was researching, there's one in New York or New York City area, and then there's the one on West Coast. Where is it? Oregon? Portland? Somewhere? I don't know. But it was like $800 just for the ticket, plus $800 for your hotel stay. And then if you wanted to do extra classes, it's more money, and then the dinner. And I'm like, this is like a $2,000 vacation that, like, I don't get to do whatever I want to do. Like, I'm gonna have to sit in conferences the whole time. And I'm like, no, I'm not gonna do it.
There's one in the I think it's like the Midwest Tarot Convention or something. It's either in like, I know these aren't the same thing, but I'm drinking, so like it's either in Michigan or Minnesota.
Close
Okay.
enough. Yeah.
But yeah, I really, really badly want to go to a tarot convention, but like right now with, we're right in the middle of a panty, so like there's no, they're doing them online this year, I guess. So
I feel like I just want to go for the shopping and to create video content anyway. And it's like, do I really want to spend $2,000 just to be able to do that? Like,
I think you'd meet so many cool people though.
True. Yes. Yeah.
I think if we all met up like somewhere at like a tarot convention, like all of us.
It'll be worth it. It'll be worth it. Just meeting you guys. It'll
Yeah.
be worth it.
Aw, cheers.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Oh, cheers. Best friends from the internet.
That's where all my friends live now.
Never have I ever had a pet destroy or damage a deck.
Oh.
Tell us.
My very first tarot deck, the wooden tarot, back when I was living home with family before I moved, my dog Rupert ate the first 2 tarot decks. So I had to buy 3 different versions of the same deck because he ate the first 2 decks.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
So somebody in the chat said for that amount of money that it would take to go to a tarot convention that we could buy the Bone Stone and Earth Flesh. Like, yes, I'm currently trying to buy like the next release of the Bone Stone because I passed on it and now I decided that I wanted it because I've seen it enough. So yeah, that amount of money you could buy. Candy from Candy Soul and Soil is here. Hi, Candy.
Hey.
I absolutely love her. She's amazing. Okay, so never have I ever had a dedicated area in which to read tarot. So I have a tarot room now, but like for a lot of years I did not, and I've read tarot in some weird places. So yeah.
That's real. All right.
Never have I ever cleansed a deck.
I'm not cool. Oh my god.
Never, Jason?
Never.
Wow.
Never. I just open it
Really?
because I'm too excited.
But like at any point in its life?
No.
Wow.
No,
Okay.
like no knocking, no
Living
music,
life on the
no
edge over
smoke
there. I don't.
cleanse.
Just
I
give me
don't-
all kinds of juju. I don't care. Give it to me.
Oh,
I
all
don't
right.
make a habit of it. I don't think it's something that's necessary to do. But
Right.
have I done it? Yes, I have. So
We know. We know.
Never have I ever dreamed about tarot.
So recently, I had this weird dream that I was at a festival and I was in this like gypsy cart and I was giving out tarot readings at a festival. Yeah, it was weird. And then I walked by a mirror and then I was like 150 pounds thinner and super hot. And I was like, what's up? And then I woke up. It was cool. It was a cool dream.
I love
but
it.
in that dream, I think it was like the Ten of Swords, or it was a card that I knew really well. I was giving somebody a reading, and then I couldn't remember what it was for, and I had to run to somebody else's booth and ask them, and I was like in a frantic mess of not knowing what my cards were. So yes, I have, and it's full of anxiety for no fucking reason.
Never have I ever had to eliminate odors from a deck. Yes. Let me just drink this whole thing. And it's so hard, you guys. Like, it's so hard to get smells out of decks. So, like, if people use a certain incense constantly, or, like, if they're smokers, they smoke while they read cards, and then you, like, trade for that deck. Oh, man. It's hard to get smells. It's hard to get odors out of decks, actually.
Really? That's
So what
interesting.
do you do?
Oh gosh, we had to like, well, luckily this was like a really plasticky, like shiny sealed deck. And so then you like have to powder it and you have to like disinfect it and then you have to let it sit and you have to air it out. And there's a bunch of different like stuff that you can use on it, but it just like, yeah. And like, so I'm not a smoker. And so I can smell like smoke like a lot. And so like all of a sudden, like I got this deck and then we left, we came back, we walked in. And my husband's like, it smells like someone's been smoking in our living room. And we could not figure out what it was. And it was because I got this used deck and the lady was a smoker and she'd like smoke while she read cards and stuff. And yeah, we had to take that deck outside and like cleanse it. It took me like 3 days to like put it all through the process, like cleansing it out. So getting odors out of a deck is no joke. So when people are like, do you use strong incense? I totally get it.
I don't know, Maggie, maybe.
Never have I ever given a reading or read for myself while intoxicated. We can start reading now.
It's more fun, ain't it?
Yeah. I love to, like, somebody was like, you know, with that gatekeeping online, but somebody's like, don't ever read tarot cards in bed. And I was like, where else am I going to read them?
Why?
The sky
What's
will
the
go
thought behind
black
that?
and birds will die if you do that.
Is there like a working understanding of why that's not a thing you do? No,
I don't know.
no. All right, just curious.
I mean, I'm still going to do it. That's what I do.
Yeah, no, I just have never heard it before.
Let's see here. So never have I ever, oh, this is me. Never have I ever confused the meaning of a card or cards during a reading. So I don't know Roman numerals.
Ooh.
So when I get nervous, if I'm like flipping up cards, and then especially when I'm doing, like if I'm flipping them upside down so that they're upright for like the person across from me, and I'm trying to read upside down, I've like misread the Roman numeral. I have done that, and it's super embarrassing. I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm just stupid.
I have on multiple occasions mixed up my Two of Pentacles with my Two of Swords on decks that are not Rider-Waite-Smith, where it's not a clear depiction.
Yes.
And I see
Yeah.
the two, and like, because they have similar imagery, generally speaking, and I'll start to read it, and I'll be like, oh, I fucked up. No, hold on, 1 second. My bad.
Yeah, because my ones that don't have the traditional, that aren't like Rider-Waite-Smith or Rider-Waite-Smith clones, I just look at the Roman numeral, and so like if I'm looking at them like quickly or like upside down, I've definitely misread them. That's like embarrassing. I'm like, excuse me, I guess I don't know what I'm talking about. Super embarrassing. Never have I ever damaged a cards with fire from a candle, incense, a cigarette, or any other source. No, I shouldn't drink. That's not.
Well, your husband with raw meat.
I will tell you that I gave my daughter a tarot deck. Like, I've got a teenage daughter, and I'm really wanting her to like be witchy with me. She's not about that life, and I gave her a deck, and then she set several of the cards on fire when she was mad at me. So I didn't do it, but I was very
I'm terrified. Like, I would rather run into a burning building than have teenagers. I'm terrified of like teenage years.
I'm telling you right now, listen, teenagers, they have pros and cons. Like, they can feed themselves now. They don't really require you. There's that whole thing that's working for them, but they're still teenagers and they're fucking sassy hormonal assholes. So there's that whole situation.
Never have I ever been scared of a deck.
Really? Scared?
I'm terrified of the deck that everyone uses, that it takes like several different cards and mashes them into one. Like, is it the in-between or the after or the before?
Yeah.
I don't know what it's called, but like when people hold those cards up like on lives, I'm literally like
Start to glitch.
it'll be like the Queen of Cups mashed with the Queen of Swords mashed with the Judgment card. Like, there's something from each one of the cards like in there, and I'm just like
Sounds like a hot mess.
Terrified of that deck. I'm like, no, thank you. Never have I ever loved a deck before holding or working with it. I have.
No.
Really? Like, you have to get the deck before you fall in love with it?
Oh, for sure.
Okay.
I feel like that's a little bit of both ways. Like, yes, but then again, no, because I love every deck when I'm pressing that buy button. And just endorphins rush, and I'm like, yes, you know? But I don't think that that's necessarily like, you know, true love, a true connection, you know?
Okay, so that leads me to another one, which is like, this is like the 500 question, but I'm going to jump ahead. Never have I ever had a soul deck.
The Rider-Waite is my soulmate.
What about you guys? Tell me your soul deck, Kelby.
Everyday Witch. Everyday Witch.
Rider-Waite and Slow Tarot.
Okay, so I'm going to show you guys my soul deck because I have it here, because I always have it with me. And I loved this deck before I got it. I absolutely loved it. So, Brian, you and I have talked about this deck. This is the deck, the Living Tarot. And it comes on like the recycled paper, and it comes with no plastic, and it comes with plant-based ink. And it's like, is all like hand cut, and
that's beautiful
and written, and it's like super green. And I just knew, like, when I was reading about how it was all like earth friendly, eco-friendly done, that I just knew that I would love it. And I just knew before I got it, and then getting it and like holding it. But I only read this deck like for myself, but this is my soul deck for sure. Like, I love it.
I'm going to, after the fact, drink for the falling in love with the deck before you own it question, because I'm officially in love with that deck and I really want to get it.
B said her soul deck is the Sassy Burrito, so the Sassy Burrito Tarot. Is the Living Tarot the name? Yes, the Living Tarot. It is. It's on Etsy, and it's recycled paper, it's plant-based ink, it's hand-carved stamps, it's no plastic, it ships with no plastic, so it's just like this beautiful earth deck. So somebody said Daughters of the Moon is my soul deck. Oh, so Queen Aset Haru said it's hers, and then Moonchild Tarot is my soul deck. Oh my god, I don't want to report that comment. Get out of here. Sorry, Drunk Fingers. The Sweet Twilight for Candy, Soul and Soil for her soul deck.
Ooh.
Yes, yeah. Okay, so next one. Oh my gosh. You guys, let's all just drink. Never have I ever destroyed a tuck box.
Oh.
What about a tuck box?
Never have I ever destroyed a tuck box.
I don't think it's a fair question, because they destroy themselves on account of being pieces of shit.
Very that. Very that.
Even when I'm trying not to, like sometimes it's just like the other day I got a deck and it like ended up in 3 pieces before I could get it open and like get to the cards.
You know what the worst is? The worst is when you put your cards in a tuck deck, and then as you move it, it fall out of the bottom, like just fuck you out of the bottom of the box, like it had no purpose.
No, the worst. Okay, the worst, you guys. The worst is when the box, like you open the box and it's got that really gross, like cardboardy sides that the deck sits down in, and then on the other side, when they connect the guidebook to the fucking box, so you have to rip it off. Like that's, I hate that. Like, don't connect the guidebook to the box. Like, why? Like, oh, that's the worst. Okay. Okay, so never have I ever had a custom-made container for a deck. I think you said that you bought custom containers, Stormie.
I don't buy them custom. I buy containers for. I'll just fucking drink.
Good idea.
Whatever. Just fuck explaining it. Sure.
Never have I ever had a deal breaker card. I don't actually know what that means. Like to buy the deck, or like in a reading. Like if you got the 3 of Swords, you're not going to go on that date, or like what does that mean?
Ooh.
Maybe buying the deck.
Okay, so do you?
Oh, like you where people will, is it where people will say like the death card, for instance? Like if I'm looking at a new deck to purchase, if the death card sucks, I'm not going to buy it because that's a deal breaker.
Oh, that
card,
makes sense.
right?
Because I always look at the death card to buy my decks. Like that's okay. So yeah, okay, we'll drink then.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
Never have I ever owned a deck that reversed the elements, like the wands and the
Oh
swords.
my
I
god,
freaking
the spellcasters makes me so mad. All
I
right.
don't like that. I do not like when they switch that around. So like I will not purchase those like when they I don't even like it when they I really kind of dislike it when they rename it to like something else.
Like coins or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, some of them get really out there, like they're not even close. Pentacles and coins, like, okay, that's not too bad, but like some of them will be something like just totally off, and I don't care for that.
Like
somebody. So I posted my I think collection video or my favorites. I don't remember which one it was, but I got really aggressive, as I clearly do from time to time, about the spellcaster reversing the swords and wands. And I was given this, somebody commented that it was based on druidic practice, and there was like a whole reasoning behind it. And I felt like kind of a dickhead, to be honest. There was a reason behind it, but like, I get it. I'm not on the team.
So like needles as a suit. Yes. Yeah. Like needles. But some of them, they're just out there. I can't think of some of the ones that I've seen, but because they're Rider-Waite Smith based, but you still have to learn that deck. Like you still are gonna have to sit down and really study to like use that deck and be fluent, especially when you sit down. Like if you have any nervous or anxiety at all, like if you're reading on an event, you know what I mean? And then you have to switch around the elements and switch around the names and stuff. Like I don't need that extra.
Especially when they rename the court cards additionally, and then you end up with like a weird name of a weird suit, and you don't know which one is which anymore. I think
with the court cards, the only thing I really like, if the Trinity Tarot was renamed, the court cards were renamed to be more gender inclusive, and I do like that. But like the suit stayed the same, and the deck is really, you can see the traditional Rider-Waite Smith in it, so that's about the only time, you know what I mean?
I think like the Enchanted Forest Tarot, like I think it's the Queen, or no, like the Knight of Cups is the Seeker of Visions. Like they have a whole different set of names for this and a whole different set of names for the suit. So it gets really like, you have to memorize the whole thing.
No, nobody likes
it.
Okay, so never have I ever owned a majors only deck. I own a ton of majors only decks.
What do you do with that?
That's what you have.
I don't understand.
I mean, I don't have it anymore. I forget what it was. It was one of the, I think it was like Schiffer or Red Feather Publishing sent me the Majors Only deck that's kind of like the weird black and beige faces that look like plants and stuff. I don't even remember what it was. It was terrible. And even the guidebook wasn't even like English. It was like poetry and not even like any sort of guidebook translation. It was terrible. It was bad.
So educate me. What is this? Like a 22 card deck? I don't understand.
Yeah.
I've never even seen this before.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
no.
the Majors Only deck. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, just give me the whole deck. Just don't just give me the majors. I want the whole deck.
Okay, so never have I ever done readings at a bar or pub. I
I
haven't.
don't think so.
What's the weirdest place that you guys have ever done readings?
Uh,
Tell us.
I'm laughing to myself because I'm like, said that about sex. I could have so many places I could list. But we're talking tarot, and I have such a very short history with tarot. So, no, there's no weird places I've done that.
I mean, I've done it. Let's see. I'm trying to think. I've done it in between ayahuasca ceremonies at like a retreat, and I've done it at other people's houses. I don't think I've done it in public before, though. Yeah, not too weird. Not too weird.
So the weirdest place that's probably weird I read tarot is at the intensive care unit at the hospital, because like in the waiting room. Yeah, because like my mom got really sick and she was there for a long time, and so I would just like sit in there and read cards for like the family members that were there.
Oh, that's cool.
But that's like a weird place to like slinging cards in the ICU waiting room. Have you ever done a reading on someone without their permission? Look at you guys.
You haven't?
No.
Oh, you're a saint.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh,
It's much more wholesome than I am.
No, you've never been like, what is going on in that bitch's life? Let me see.
Yeah.
Never?
No.
Wow. Yeah, no, I've definitely done it a bunch of times.
That's probably like the majority of my reason.
Oh, all right, Brian.
Okay, so we're gonna finish this page. We're only in the hundreds of 500, so let's finish this page because I'm starting to go cross-eyed, and then we'll have to do this again. Okay, so never have I ever reorganized my collection and then not being able to locate a specific deck.
I'm not that big. I don't have the same status you guys do, honestly.
Never have I ever had deck envy. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have 0 of the Prisma Vision decks, and I want all of them.
Never have I worked with just one deck for a month. I have. When I first started, I read with the same deck for like 5 or 6 years. That's why I have deck envy, because there's a lot of decks that came and went and are out of print that I didn't get my hands on that I'm like sad about.
So up until like a year and a half, 2 years ago, I was honestly like really judgmental to anything that was not traditional Rider-Waite Smith. Like I just thought it was all some bullshit. People who wanted to pretend to be like the OG, but they weren't. And I just thought it was all just like bullshit money grab. I refused to. I didn't have a different deck besides Rider-Waite from the age of 12 until like 2 years ago. A year and a half, 2 years ago. Yeah, 2 years ago. So for all of that time, it was Rider-Waite and nothing. Not even Oracle. Like I thought it was all bullshit. It was Rider-Waite all the way.
Oh.
Yeah.
Actually, that's kind of cool. You're like a hardcore purist. You're like, no.
I was, dude. I
The rest of
was.
it's BS.
That's why my deck collection is so small, because I just started buying them like a year and a half ago, and I was like, oh, okay, I'll try some. We'll see what happens. Like just recently.
Okay, so let's see here. Where did the question go that I really wanted? Okay, this one. This one, because this one's just for me so I can drink. Never have I ever told a spouse or significant other that a deck was less than I actually paid for it. I don't say it was less. When the boxes just pile up at the front door, I'll just be like, what are those?
They were Kickstarters I backed from a year ago. I
I
had
don't
no
know what's happening.
idea.
Weird. Awkward. Okay. Let's see here. I'm trying to find a really good one before so we can close out. I don't know. No, okay, here's my last question for today. Never have I ever owned a non-human tarot deck.
A non-human?
Yeah, so like animal, plant, stars, I don't know.
Yeah, just drink.
Yeah, just drink.
Everybody.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm starting to, when I get drunk and I start to go cross-eyed, my one eye like is like, hello.
Oh,
Well, this was so much fun, you guys. I really appreciate you. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Thank you, everyone, for who joined us. And yeah, we will see you guys back for another party night of never.
For sure, do this again.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
bring
Cheers.
more wine or
Cheers.
Cheers, guys.
Come on, Jason, get up here. There you go.
Yeah. And bye.